Hi, my name is Michael O'Reilly, and today I'll be reviewing the 1985 Disney film Return to Oz, directed and written by Walter Murch. So, Return to Oz is basically the sequel to Wizard of Oz, but it's about Dorothy Gale, who's back in Kansas from the land of Oz after the tornado incident the first time, but she can't seem to stop thinking about the land of Oz. So her aunt takes her to some doctor, I believe, like some hospital, and she ends up running away but falling to the river, and she ends up back at the land of Oz, which is obviously like her dream. But she's there with her chicken, Belina, and she quickly learns that the land of Oz is was destroyed. So she tries to save the day and rescue her old friend, the Scarecrow. I honestly didn't even know that this film had existed until I just watched it. Obviously, it wasn't as good as the first one, as most sequels aren't, but it was still pretty interesting. I believe this film was interesting because of the simple fact that it just had a good storyline to it, like the one I just described before. It was a solid storyline, kept me intrigued. For a 1985 film, I think the picture was pretty well as the color, as was the color. Um, it was an HD film, and to be honest, I didn't even know that existed yet back then. But yeah, it was a decent picture. Um, I really enjoyed the scene where Dorothy uh, wakes up the sleeping Mombi while she's trying to steal. I believe it was a key or a magical powder or something of the sort. But basically, she's trying to take it from her, and she ends up waking up the Mombi, the sleeping Mombi, and the scene starts to get intense right there. So I thought that was interesting. The headless Mombi's awoken. Dorothy runs back to her friends in the tower, where they end up escaping from the tower on the flying Gump with his couch body. I also really enjoyed the scene where Dorothy finally meets the giant Gnome King, and the Gnome King tries to, well, he's about to eat the Pumpkinhead, Jack, but I guess he doesn't realize that Belina, the chicken, is inside of Jack's head, inside of the pumpkin, and she gets rattled because she's about to get eaten due to the fact that she's about to get eaten. So she lays an egg and ends up falling in the mouth of the Gnome King. And the interesting part about this is that in the land of Oz, eggs are poisonous, which is why they would mention how they hate chickens so much throughout the film. I was wondering why they didn't like chickens, and then at the end I found out because eggs are poisonous there. But yeah, I like those scenes in particular. Um, I also noticed that in Dorothy's dream of being in the land of Oz, all people she knew or met in real life were incorporated into her dreams. For example, like the one nurse at the hospital was Mombi. The Gnome King was a doctor with the electrotherapy thing. Yeah, and I believe the rest of the hospital staff was just the Wheelers. Um, I believe all things have a symbolic message or a meaning behind it, especially like movies and books and those type of things. Um, Although, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not entirely sure what the message is behind this particular film, but I believe it's something along the lines of companionship. Um, this was definitely a vital role in the film Return to Oz. All her new friends played a part in this meeting, and they all stuck together throughout the film, had each other's backs pretty much. So I'd say that's probably the message behind this film. Overall, I was pleased by this film, as I expected it to be kind of not so great. I'd say, since it's a sequel to a classic film, and you can't match a classic film by any means. Uh, well, I definitely didn't match it. They certainly did a good job with this film. I'd say it was overall solid film, solid storyline, and I actually enjoyed watching it. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching.